Hi everyone, this is Anjali and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to start a brand new series for Computer Science Class 12 CBSE Board. And this series is brand new because this time I'm going to cover the whole syllabus along with the practice questions in English language. So on the channel we already have a lot of content in Hindi for Computer Science Class 12 CBSE Board. So it is there, and there are many students who are not from North India, who are from other parts of the country, and even students who are out of India and they're following CBSE board and they have their computer science examination and they are finding it difficult to prepare for it. So here is this series where we're going to cover the whole syllabus in English, as well as I'll try to provide you as many practice questions as I could. But for practice, you can always follow the Hindi videos because that's a mixture of English and Hindi, so you'll understand the code or understand the outputs in those practice questions if you just look or if you go through those videos. But each and every topic will be explained and some sample questions will be discussed in English only. So this playlist is going to cover the whole syllabus in English. So before we start with the very first topic, let's have a look at the syllabus because it's very important to know your curriculum very well, right? So for 2024-25, this is your curriculum for class 12. And out of this, when we go to academic electives, here is our computer science, right? Now, when you study the computer science of class 12, it's very important that you must know the things which you have learned in class 11th, because one of the major portion in your theory exam is your revision tour. Revision tour means whatever you've done in class 11th for Python, that you should know in class 12th as well. And you get a significant amount of questions from that portion, like around 10 marks, 10 to 12 marks you get from whatever you've learned in class 11th. So that Python is very important for class 12 point of view as well, right? So you are going to have 70 marks theory exam. In theory exam, we have three major things. One is your computational thinking and programming, which is Python, and that will cover the maximum portion, that's 40 marks. Computer networks is a theory chapter covering 10 marks, and then we have database management, in which you learn a language called SQL, structured query language. That's for 20 marks. These two are relatively easy, but this 40 mark portion is quite lengthy and you have to be very technical for grasping the concepts as well as for writing the codes, because you get number of codes to write here. So you get number of Python programs which you have to write, or even if the code is given, you have to tell the output of the same. So these things are really very important, right? So we're going to work on it. So this series is not only covering your syllabus, but it is preparing you for the board exams, because we don't have much time for the exams of 2025. So that's why we are focusing on the major key concepts, the gist of everything which you must know, which will help you in your board exam. So I have planned it accordingly, and I am very much positive that it's going to help you a lot. And stay tuned, subscribe the channel, and I will be helping you to the maximum extent possible, Manvi, right? So let's see the detailed syllabus. If you see the detailed syllabus unit wise. So unit 1 is your computational thinking and programming, where the first topic is revision of Python topics covered in class 11. So whichever book you're following, whichever book the school has told you to follow, in that you will be having your first two chapters as revision tour 1 and revision tour 2, right? So in that case, you are covering here whatever we have done in class 11th, like the basics of Python, basically the loops, how to write conditions, how you use for loop, how you use while loop, then how you use your data structures like list, tuple, dictionary, and string. So that's the most important thing, that how we work with all those four data structures that we cover in this. Once you are done with it, we start with functions. So types of functions, built-in functions. So like functions which are there already are called built-in functions, but as a programmer, I can make our own functions. That is called user-defined functions. So there are so many topics related to functions which you're going to cover in this chapter. Then you have exception handling. Exception means a runtime error. That is an error which occurs during the execution of the program. So if the program occurs during the execution of the program, if the error occurs during the execution of the program, how to handle it, that comes under exception handling. Then you have introduction to files. This is the major portion of Python. And here you get three type of files on which you have to work. That's text files, binary files, and CSV files. And on these files, you get the code to write. So you will get questions where you have to write the code to work on these three type of files. And one more topic is there for which you will get a question for 3 marks where you have to write down a program. So you definitely get a program for stacks. So it's like 100% short question that you will get a question where you have to write the code for stacks. And the best part of this thing is that these codes are very much similar. You have to understand the concept that how I'm going to write into a binary file, how I'm going to read from the binary file. Similar way, how to do it with the CSV files. And be it a student record you're writing into the file, be it an employee record you're writing into the file, be it a product record you're writing into the file. So the thing is that only the subject about which you're going to write into the file will change, but the procedure of writing, the procedure of reading will always remain the same, right? So the way I work is same. For example, if I'm telling you how to add two numbers, right? So addition method is same, but the numbers would be different. So kind of that. So the main thing is how smart you act to learn this, to practice this is what makes the difference, right? So we will be covering it all. I'll explain you everything and I'll tell you how to go for it. So this is all we're going to cover in Python for 40 marks. Then you have computer networks. The syllabus looks lengthier, but actually it's not that lengthy. These are the terms which they have listed. It's whatever we use in our day-to-day life. We are using internet, how internet was formed, what are the various type of networks we have, what devices we use in the networks, what are the kind of transmission medias which help us to send signals from one place to another place, what kind of viruses you can get, what protocols are used. So all that you have to study over here. What are websites? What are the terms related to websites? So that is all we are going to study in this chapter, right? In this chapter, in your board exams, you get one question, which is a case study question for 5 marks. I'm teaching this subject for more than 20 years now, right? And believe me, for past 20 years, the question is coming exactly the same way. If you look at the question which comes for computer networks, it's a case study question. The similar type of question is coming for last 20 years, right? So I just pray that you should not be the first batch of getting it differently, right? So otherwise, these 5 marks are like a bonus given by CBSE to you. So these 5 marks can be scored very easily. Rest for 5 marks, you have to study all this because that's theory. And out of that also for 1 mark, you will get abbreviations that you have to write the full form. And for other 4 marks, you can get some other questions. So easy to score, right? Then we have database management. This is a non-procedural language, SQL, that you study in this. You study basic concepts of database over here. And SQL, how to write the commands, how to get the output of the commands. That is what we're going to study here. This is relatively easier in comparison to Python. So it won't take much time and it is not that difficult as well. Then we have interface of Python and SQL. We are going to connect Python and SQL together so that from a Python program, the data should be written to SQL, and from a Python program, I should be able to read it back into the Python program from SQL. So one question you get on this also. So this topic where we connect them, it is very important because for sure one question will be there based on this, right? And your projects were based on this. So when we submit the project for practical exams, it is always preferred that it should be based on Python and SQL connectivity. So this is the syllabus which we'll be covering. We'll start from the very first topic, that is the Python revision tour, right? So we will start with it, and by the time you are finished with your other exams till 11th of March, I guess, right? So by 11th of March, your physics, chemistry, maths, English would be done. But the students who are going to have bio or some other subject, like the students from commerce or humanities background, if you have computer science, you would be having some exams in between. But you can take out at least 1 hour a day, right? So just take out 1 hour a day and give to computer science. And believe me, I'm promising you, if you give just 1 hour a day from 11th of March till 28th of March. 29th is your exam, right? So you can still score very good because many students ask me, ma'am, we haven't started studying yet. I had PCM, I was busy with JEE preparations, I was busy with that entrance exam or this entrance exam. Can I score good? Yes, you can score good now as well. So this is the time where you have to just take out some quality time for this subject and it is going to give you a very good result. So all the best for your boards 2025, right? And this series will definitely help you to do wonders in computer science subject. All the best. Subscribe the channel, like the video and share with all your friends who have computer science but somehow couldn't get time to work on it. throughout the year, but this is the time we are going to work on it and we're going to get best out of it. Bye for now. Take care.